All right, I think I'm live. Everything looks like it's good. Hello, happy Sunday to everybody. I wanted to do a stream about a little lighthearted subject. Hello, everybody. Anthony, Patricia. A lesson from World War II. And I wanted to talk about this stuff because I feel like there are patterns that we are about to repeat and have been repeating. And it's easy to say, don't hate this group and don't do this. And social pressure, we're good at applying that. But sometimes we kind of miss the bigger picture. And I feel like we are, not that the United States is somehow getting about to become Nazi Germany or anything like that. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. I don't think so. But I think if we want to be a better race, be better people, be a better collective on this planet, that we need to learn the hard lessons. And that's going to include everyone. So today I wanted to talk about, I don't even know these people's full names. I don't even know the woman's name at all. And this guy's last name is Schroeder, I don't know, something like that. I have a quick couple videos that talk about, or to show what they did if you don't know. But the guy on the left is a lawyer and got himself all worked up because some people were speaking Spanish. They may have been employees at the coffee shop or something like that. And he went on a little bit of a tirade. I think that was fueled by perhaps a little anti-immigrant stance. And the woman on the right was upset that people were barbecuing. And they had the crime of barbecuing while black, apparently. And maybe there was an ordinance about not using charcoal or not. Maybe she would have a technicality right, but that would be, of course, missing the bigger picture. So let's get into it. So this guy, let me get over here. I'm gonna watch this real quick.
If they have the balls to come here and live off of my money, I pay for their welfare, I pay for their ability to be here. The least they can do is welfare.
Okay, so there's obviously a they. He's like, they are coming here, and there's that inherent problem that he obviously has right off the bat. But this is what happens when social pressure confronts him. And this is not like a planned response or a calm and rational response. This guy is pure panicking.
Why are you running, man? You don't want to stand by what you said?
Journalists chasing him.
Aaron.
Look at him.
At what age did you decide you wanted to be a racist like this?
Why'd you say those things to those people, Aaron?
You feel bad about what you said? Were you just having a bad day?
Probably shouldn't touch it.
Or are you always this way? Why are you hiding?
So you speak Spanish fluently, but you couldn't talk to them?
That's funny. I didn't even know the guy spoke Spanish.
Why are you hiding, bud?
Why shouldn't people be allowed to speak Spanish to each other in America, Aaron?
You embarrassed what you said? Is that why you won't talk?
So that's enough of that one. And then they corner him a little bit more. And here he is on the phone, probably with 911 or something, and he's naming like the New York Post and stuff as people who are harassing him.
New York Post. They won't let me move. I'm cornered in.
No, you're allowed to move, Aaron.
So,
we're not blocking
check
your
this
way
out.
at
This
all.
woman casually puts
Nobody's
her umbrella
within even
away.
3
She's
feet
just
of you.
walking into the store.
No one is
this
within
dude
3
walking
feet
his
of you,
dog.
Aaron.
And it's like, what are these backpackers from Europe or something?
You know,
Like,
after
everyone's
those
just,
bold statements the other day, yesterday, I'm surprised you're not willing to say something.
this guy's hitting the umbrella.
Aaron, your law firm advertises that you speak Spanish fluently. Why shouldn't people be able to speak Spanish in America?
Okay, so that's enough of that guy. So the lesson here from World War II, let's just assume that I am completely on board with the stance that this guy, this white guy, should not be making people who speak Spanish and people with darker skin feel like a them. And I am completely on board with that. And I actually don't even have a problem with this social response. Like, the guy is completely terrified. And what I find fascinating about that is that he's had so much hate built up. And I think it was unconscious. I honestly think he thinks that people should be speaking Spanish. And he's afraid of a loss of culture, like Americana or something like that. And he honestly feels like that's an attack. And he's doing that a service. He feels like his culture is under attack and he's fighting back. I know it's kind of hypocritical for a white guy to say, oh my God, my culture's under attack given the past. But that is the lesson here, is that anyone who feels like they are attacked, they are losing their culture, is going to lash out, is going to be a bully. And that's kind of how Nazis started. They were a them, and they had a problem. They may have been assholes, but if you continue to leave a group separated in your society, then eventually they're going to act out. And I'm not saying that this guy's going to turn into a Nazi at all. I'm just trying to, I make the comparison of that we can't separate any one group and then not say, hey, what's the problem here? So what I'm suggesting here is not so much that we figure out what this guy's problem is initially, but we need to be careful how far we take this public, I don't want to call it hate because it's not hate. I mean, the public is standing up for itself. The public's saying, don't hate us. But these journalists were solid. I mean, other than touching the guy's umbrella, all they did was follow him around and ask them the question. They're like, hey, dude, why are you hating? And he's obviously embarrassed. He can't show his face. But how far do we want to take that? Do we want to follow him to his house? Do we always want to follow him to his work? Again, I'm okay with social pressure when you're out in the public. If you do something that makes a large group of people hate you, don't be surprised when people who don't want to be hated show up in the public and let you know. I'm okay with that. Where it becomes a problem is, notice that like these people who have hated, the one thing they're afraid of, the reason why they can't back out, they can't undo what they've done, is they're afraid and they're convinced the world is going to treat them the way they treat the world. Like, he's afraid the world's going to come back and be an asshole to him, just like he was an asshole to that, I believe it was a woman who was speaking Spanish. I honestly don't even know. You can see the terror. Let me go back to this one. Whatever, I like this one better because like this whole roundabout that he does when he's walking, it's like, oh shit, no, I can't go over there. There's a camera.
And what age did you
and he's got his head pulled down. He's like that's
this?
Panic. And it's certainly an unfortunate way to have your worldview challenged publicly like that. When you have a shallow worldview that is hating others and making part of us, humanity, a group, a separate group. That's a hard lesson to learn, and it sucks even more to learn it in public. But the public is not harming the guy. And as far as I can tell, there's not, at least right now, there's not a whole lot of hate, maybe because Trump is taking everyone's attention. But we need to be very careful about when we are standing up for social reasons. We need to be careful to make a stop at not making these people feel bullied. Because what that message does is that, one, this guy can never back out. But two, other people will then have the precedent set. They're like, oh my God, I can't even address that. I can't go there. They will never try to address their racism if this is the response, right? That's the lesson from Nazi Germany. We don't want to exclude anybody. So let's go to this woman, this barbecue-hating woman.
This is a designated barbecue area.
No, not for a charcoal grill. No charcoal grills are allowed. Do you want to see it? You must not have looked up.
What kind of grill are you not allowed, and why are you so bent out of shape over them being
Because it causes extra money from our city to do things when children get injured because of improper.
Extra money for the city when children do what? That's why she's upset here.
Shape over them being
because it causes extra money from our city to do things when children get.
Like, if you're calling the cops on someone, you should know why. All right, last time.
Why are you so bent out of shape over them being
because it causes extra money from our city to do things when children get injured because of improperly disposed hose.
So are you saying that they're going to hurt children out here, or I mean, like, what is with this?
Dangerous black people.
There's
hurt children with the
charcoal.
I know the laws about this park.
And charcoal grills are not allowed here.
So they should go buy a new grill because I just looked at it and it doesn't say anything.
Charcoal grills in here. I don't care what.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not because you don't want black people being out here?
It has nothing to.
So, right there, this woman pretty much gets called out for most likely what is the truth. She doesn't like black people, and she doesn't want them there, and she's using the charcoal grill as an excuse, clearly. But notice how, like before, anytime an issue comes up,
Here.
she's like, she just
I
shrugs
don't
her
care.
Are you
shoulders.
sure? Are you sure
She's
it's
like,
not because
it's basically,
you don't
I
want
don't give a
black
fuck about
people
you.
being
That's
out
what
there?
the body
nothing to do
language
with
is
the
saying.
race.
That's what
It
she's
seems
saying.
like a new Jim Crow
In
going on
addition to
because
not
for some
even
reason every time I see
liking
it,
black
black
people.
people are the ones targeted.
Okay, so there's that one, and this is 20 minutes later, I believe, after the police showed up, and we have a. Now remember, this is the same as the dude where you get called out publicly for something that you yourself know is something you should be ashamed about. And you get afraid. The organism, your human body, like that's your response. And so you could see here when things have escalated, and the woman with the phone is, I'm not going to say she was aggressive. I mean, if you're videoing someone, you're obviously not intending to hurt them because you would be stupid to video your own crime like that. But this woman with the phone, I'd never learned her name, who called the police, is again in full-blown panic over what? That children might get hurt because the city spent too much money on, that was her reason. But where's all this emotion coming from? Who gets that worked up over the city losing a little bit of money or after cleaning up because they have to clean up over someone's charcoal? So here's her 20 minutes
Can I
later.
have my card back?
I'm being harassed.
Okay. Can you back
I
off?
would like her to give me the card that she stole
Yes.
from me.
Can you back off?
So she's not, it's not conscious that it's like, that's like, holy,
Yeah, I'm at the.
And again, once you get the police there, you should
Ma'am, can
really
just
know
back
why
off
you
just a
called
tad
them.
so I can talk to her? Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
It's like, really know why you called them. Like, hey, these people are endangering kids. Here's the kids, here's the danger. But she doesn't have any of that. She's got some civic code, and she's so worked up. And it's like, I want to laugh because it's funny. It's like, you were kind of an asshole, and you got showed up. But at what point?
I reported about over 2 hours ago.
Well, I'll start that again. But at what point do we socially want to publicly stop pushing back? I think what was done here was fine. This woman wasn't in physical danger. But if this starts to become one of those things where we are hating anyone because we don't like them for what they did socially, that's a wrong step. That's the lesson we didn't learn from Nazi Germany.
Grilling in the park with a charcoal grill, but they're not supposed to. I was waiting there for a response because I was told they're coming.
Charcoal grill.
After 2
The
hours,
charcoal's black.
the non-emergency warning. And then in turn, these people started coming up and harassing
These
me,
people.
physically pushing me.
I
Damn
did
these
not physically
barbecues.
pushed her. She stole my card, and I wanted it back. I did
Poor,
not tell her.
this poor
I have
policeman.
witnesses.
He's got to deal with so much shit.
I said, when I was on the phone, I started trying to keep walking away.
Okay, so the lesson. I agree that these white people cannot be allowed to make people who speak Spanish feel like a them. And when this woman on the bottom, I'll learn her name at some point, but when she gets called out like, hey, I think you're calling the cops because they're black people. And she's like, that cannot be allowed because all of us have to have an equal place here. But as a society, we still can't just leave these two behind or groups they represent. We have to continue and keep the conversation open. Otherwise, you have the conflicts that we had in the street. And if there is more division and hatred that's unresolved and being the target of the hate that is unresolved, that boils over. Especially when there's the economic conditions that we have where there's hardly any jobs and the jobs that people have seem to be getting less money. I don't want to parrot Bernie, longer hours for fewer wages or whatever. And we have a political system which is a complete joke. We have the FBI, which God knows what they're doing. We got Trump's tweets. And we got a lot of crap going on, and people are living their lives in debt. And the lesson we need to learn is that we are all in this together. And I'm not suggesting that the people who are at the target of this hate need to come out and be super compassionate I'm not saying, like, as a white male, a straight white male from the middle class, I don't know what it's like to be judged. I don't know what it's like to worry about my gender when I walk outside, about my safety. I don't know what it's like to worry about whether or not someone's going to judge me for my skin color, or whether or not someone's going to like me, or worried that, you know, I'm gay or straight. I've never had that stress. So I can't say to someone who is the target of that hate, hey, you need to turn around and be compassionate to the people who are hating you. I'm not suggesting that. But I am saying that as a society, we can't run around and be just belligerent in our responses. And I think the umbrella guy and the barbecue lady, those responses were fine. Those people didn't get hurt. They were scared, but that's because they are scared that they're racist. They probably are. And that's a hard way to find out, especially when you're a lawyer and you want to recruit people and your website says that, you know, we speak Spanish. just don't speak Spanish when the CEO gets coffee. That's no good. I don't know if he's the CEO or not. I don't know anything about that guy. But we can't let any group get unrepresented, because then that group, like a cornered rat, will fight away. And I don't mean rat as in a negative thing. Whatever group it is, whether or not you're picturing white people because I have them here, and because those are the groups, that's the group that turned into Nazis, or any group, down to Native Americans, down to people with darker skin, women, whatever group, no one can feel left behind. Everyone needs to feel like they have a say in society and that they belong and that it is all us. And as a recommendation, there's on YouTube, it's a video called The Wave. It was done quite a long time ago, and it's totally dated when you watch it. But it's echoing kind of the same message I have here. And they actually do it in terms of a story, and they convert a bunch of students into would-be Nazis, and the students actually thought they were doing good things. So the lesson is understand, you know, it has to be an all us, and understand if we make someone a them and they feel left out and they feel bullied, and then some other movement comes along and gives them meaning and purpose. Human beings need meaning and purpose. And so if they get meaning and purpose in a tribe, and that's the only thing that keeps them going because everything else outside of that was being bullied, then there's no way you're going to be able to reach them. And then whoever gave them that meaning and purpose, if they're not interested in unity, then they're probably going to make this person do something that you don't want happen in society. That's what I got. The lessons from World War II. I recommend watching The Wave. It's a 45-minute video. I'm going to check and see if I have any hate that I got to address. Hey, everybody. Awesome. All right. Thanks, everybody. I will talk to you soon.